Who's that talking?
Looks like we are live.
I don't reckon.
All right, well, thank you. And we'll go ahead and call the public safety meeting to order, please. Before we do, I'd like to make a motion and vote to suspend all council rules that require in-person meetings and in-person voting before conducting any other business, please.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, all members are present. Can I get approval of the minutes of last week's meeting that we had on June 8th?
Motion to approve.
I got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, sounds good. So we'll move forward. We have 3 new pieces of legislation in front of us, and our first one is authorizing the purchasing agent or his designee to enter into a contract or contracts with Priority Dispatch for training and education of 911 call center technicians and declaring emergency. And I have that we have a District Chief Leon Henderson that's going to present.
Actually, Mr. Cameron, I'm going to present. Chief Henderson is actually in the wings in case I can't answer a question. This is a single source, 1-year open purchase order with Priority Dispatch to charge the training and education. So we have testing, training, and certification. It's about $7,200. So we're asking for a favorable report, and I'll be willing to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you, Charlie Brown. I appreciate it. Let me scroll through and see if we have any questions from committee members. Make sure you raise your hand if you do have any questions. We have Councilman Malik.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I just wanted to ask, can you talk a little bit about the training, and is this sort of annual training that takes place, or is it on a different schedule?
So what this is it trains the dispatchers how to do emergency medical dispatching. So if a person's having a baby or bleeding, or how to walk through the customer that calls in for service. So that's basically what it is. It's looking at getting about 15 new hires at $350 a piece, and then a recertification of 40 technicians at $50 a piece.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions or comments? All right, I don't see any. Charlie Brown did ask for a favorable report. Does anybody want to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All right. I saw Councilman Swirsky.
I'll
All right,
second.
it. All right, sounds good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, everyone's in favor of this one, so we'll suspend the rules on this piece. And we'll move on to the next one. Next one is ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into an agreement or agreements with Copley Township for automated and mutual aid in order to reduce emergency response time in certain areas of concern and declare an emergency. And I was told District Chief Natco was going to present.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. This is an automatic aid agreement with Copley. It's very similar to automatic aid agreements that we have with other communities that surround the city of Akron. What it allows is for emergency services from Copley, fire services, to come into select parts of Akron automatically upon dispatch. And we reciprocate, and we will go into parts of Copley automatically upon dispatch. That's a little different than mutual aid. It's very similar though, but it gets vehicles moving much quicker when it's called automatic aid. The roads are defined in the agreement on both sides. I won't bother listing the different roads, but it's basically down near the end of Copley Road, that west end corridor there. It expires at the end of this year and then renews automatically annually unless either party wants to back out of the agreement with 30 days notice.
Okay. All right. Thanks, District Chief Natco. Let's see if I got any questions from committee members. Let's see. No. Councilman Malik. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chief Natco. I just wanted to ask, do you envision, would this be relatively equitable in terms of aid, or would it be more dispatching from Akron to Copley or reverse?
I didn't catch the tail end of your question, but we try to make it equitable in the size of the areas that we go to versus the size of the areas that they come to. That way, neither side is overwhelmed. The vehicles that they would be providing us are basically what's called a tender, which is a 2,000 gallon water carrier for us to use in areas where we have a hard time with hydrants. So that's a big benefit to us. And then we would be supplying them basic engine or ladder in their areas. So it's mutually agreeable to us.
Thank you, sir.
Good, thank you, Councilman. I see Councilman Swirsky's wants a
Yeah.
question, comment.
So this collaboration ends up saving taxpayers money. Is that correct?
It financially, I couldn't really speak to the impact. More importantly, though, it saves lives and property by bringing an apparatus in a more rapid response to an area that needs help.
Okay, so it improves our efficiency in providing the service.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It puts manpower on scene in a much quicker.
Okay, and is there any history to this collaboration, or is this brand new?
With Copley, it's brand new. We've always had
Okay.
mutual aid capabilities. Mutual aid is where somebody can arrive on scene and they call for help. What this does is it just moves it forward a little bit in the process where it is dispatched automatically from dispatch without, let's say a house fire comes in and the dispatcher gets that information. The dispatcher starts sending companies that are in this area immediately without waiting for anybody to ask for them. So that's the difference between automatic aid and mutual aid. It just puts people on scene much more quickly, and it benefits us.
Sounds like good work, good collaboration, good work, guys. Yeah.
Good. That's a good question. I appreciate that. Let me see if I have any other questions or anybody's hands up. All right, I don't. Chief Natco or Charlie Brown, what are you looking at with this piece of legislation? Consent agenda, favorable report.
Well, we would like to suspension of rules so we can get that process going faster. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I'd
Committee,
like to make a motion for suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
Second,
all right, we have a motion by Malik and a second by Councilman Swirsky. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, we'll suspend the rules on that piece. Thank you. Going on to our next and final piece is a resolution approving and confirming the appointment of Council President Margot Somerville, Council President Pro Tem Rich Swirsky, John Frank, Terry Albanese, Marilyn Keefe, and Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Charles Brown to the Emergency Medical Services Advisory Board for a term ending December 31st, 2021, and declare an emergency. And I did serve on this board for about 2 years, and I will tell you, Chief Natco does a fabulous job organizing and heading this little committee up. So I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Councilman Kamer. What this board does, it's the mayor's EMS advisory board, and it consists of 3 representatives from the city, 3 civilians, and 3 physicians, each representing one of the major hospitals in the area. And they hear anything and anything regarding the fire department, our EMS or our fire operations, but primarily our EMS operations. And they make recommendations to the mayor on things that they see that look good or things that they see that need change. So it's a very open quorum. But we've just had a couple folks move from one position to another. So that's what we're doing here.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions or comments from committee members? Don't look like council members in chambers, or we're not in chambers. No, we're good. I'm sure suspension of the rules, consent agenda.
Yes, sir.
All right.
They can make
I'll
a
make a
motion.
motion. I'll make that motion to suspend the rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Malik. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. I believe, let me look, make sure there's nothing else come before us. Nobody has their hand up. All right, we're adjourned. Thanks.
Thank you.